After Wisconsin Democrats failed to take control of the Senate in the recall elections Tuesday, Governor Scott Walker will be able to continue his agenda, which has already brought in over 40,000 jobs to the state. He told the MacIver Institute on Wednesday, in the end, voters don't care about rhetoric. They care about results.
I think in the end, again, I've had great confidence in the voters. I think if voters get the facts, if they cut through all the campaign ads and attacks and everything else out there, in the end, voters want results. They want us to get things done, and they certainly want us to work together to do that. That's clearly the course we're set out on. But I think more and more as voters looked at the facts, they saw that the budget is balanced. We did it without raising taxes. In fact, we essentially froze property taxes for the next couple of years. We've done it in a way that empowers our local governments and our school districts to fare better. And they looked at a comparison to not only to Illinois, where jobs have been lost, but to Connecticut, where they've laid off 6,500 state employees, to other states where they raised taxes and pushed jobs and employers out of those states. I think when people saw the facts and they saw that our finances are better, the economy is improving in our state at a much faster pace than the national level, and that ultimately our schools and local governments are going to fare better, the best thing is to keep coming back to the facts. Results matter, and I think people want us to continue to produce results. As long as we do, and as long as we're straightforward with people, I think we'll be successful.
And he says Wisconsin is looking pretty good when you start comparing it to other states and the federal government.
The numbers are, they're indisputable. 9,500 net new jobs in the state of Wisconsin in the month of June alone. Compare that to a net decrease of 7,200 jobs in the state of Illinois. Compare that nationally in the last 6 months. We more than double the level of job creation in the state of Wisconsin, 39,300 new jobs in the state of Wisconsin, and that's because we've created certainty. And we didn't fall in the trap that they have in Washington. You know, our bond rating is intact. In fact, the National Credit Agency said our budget was credit positive. You compare that to Washington, where even after the supposed deal out there, they still saw a downgrade. They're still seeing massive financial and fiscal problems headed into the future. We provided a stark contrast, a better contrast, and I think that's ultimately going to help us not only with our budget, but more importantly, help us attract more jobs.
Walker hopes after liberal groups failed to stop Act 10 and lost a Supreme Court race, that recount, and now the Senate recalls, Wisconsin can start to get back to normal.
Well, I think the biggest thing, you know, with the elections over, you're going to see a lot of the outside influence, the money that came in from outside of Wisconsin and all the different parties that are in from outside of Wisconsin. They're going to move on to other states. They're going to move on to other issues, whether it's in Washington or other state houses. We can get back to work here in the state of Wisconsin.
Walker says as the state continues to move forward, he expects both Republicans and Democrats will be able to come together.
We started on January 3rd. I've never let up on focusing on jobs. But really in that first month and a half, we had a lot of pieces of legislation, some pretty broad bipartisan support when it came to economic development. We get back to that going into the fall session. I have no doubt that not only will the majorities in the Assembly and Senate be with us, but I think many of the Democrats in the Assembly and Senate as well will come along because those are issues we can work together on.
For the MacIver Institute, I'm Bill Osmulski.